My dad has always been a pretty pragmatic guy, at least, since I've known him. He's frugal and self-sufficient and a staunch advocate for taking your time to weigh all of the options before you make a decision, especially if it's an important one. He's been a woodworker since I was a little kid, and something he would always say to me when I was helping him out in the shop was, measure twice, cut once. It's, a proverb of sorts that's really common in the woodworking community, but something I probably wouldn't have otherwise encountered. While I was living at my folks' house during the pandemic, like I talked about in my last video, I had the opportunity to get in touch with and see all the facets of my childhood and my childhood home from a new perspective, as an adult. Now, when I was a kid, the phrase measure twice, cut once made a lot of sense to me in a purely functional way, right? You can always take off a bit more, but if you remove too much material from your piece, you can't really add it back. You can get pretty close, but it'll never be exactly the same as it was when you started. So when I finally revisited that phrase as an adult, it took on a broader meaning. I started thinking about all the things that are different since I first heard it. I started thinking about the many rash decisions that I've made in my life. I'm sure we've all made a few. So now, for me, the phrase kind of hammers home the idea that some decisions are final. You'll have to live with their consequences, and you can't take them back, no matter how badly you might want to. And because of that, it's incredibly important to deliberately consider those decisions, to always measure twice before you cut. I've been walking all the halls I used to crawl, and I've been singing all the songs that made me tall. I hear my not-so-baby brother on the other side of dusty bedroom walls, and his voice, it starts to sound something like my father's, when he said, plan for all your failures and you just might pull that punch. There's 1,000 ways to fuck it up, so hold on to your tongue. He said, never trust forever, 'cause you'll find you don't know much. And he said, always measure twice before you cut, before you cut, before you cut. I've been remembering all the things that I still regret, how I kept thinking all the things that I should have said instead. But I felt enough of indecision to know that there's no angel on my sleeve, just a voice that starts to sound something like my father's, when he said, plan for all your failures and you just might pull that punch. There's 1,000 ways to fuck it up, so hold on to your tongue. He said never trust forever, 'cause you'll find you don't know much. And he said always measure twice before you cut. 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 And time, it pulls the blinds back on your ambition. And time makes it all so damn petty. And still the days begin to slip between my fingers every time I think I found my intuition. There's a voice, and it starts to sound something like my father's, when he said plan for all your failures, and you just might pull that punch. There's 1,000 ways to fuck it up, so hold on to your tongue. He said never trust forever, 'cause you'll find you don't know much. And he said always measure twice before you cut. All right, well, that's that. I hope you enjoyed my song, my unhinged ramblings, or at least got something out of it. And if you'd like to see more stuff like this, you can subscribe, and that's what you'll get. I'll see you next time. Bye.